This is a template intended for teachers to be able to edit and modify as needed to fit the needs of their learners and their projects. So, to get started, we really wanted to help you create a structured way for introducing students to the project, the essential questions, and to provide spaces for students to show their learning as a process, which we feel is very important. So on the first page of the template, you'll see it definitely tells the students, where to put their names, or if it's a group, the group members' names, who is their advisor or their teacher, as well as what is the title of their project. So you're going to see that right there. We also believe it's important to really kind of make all the instructions very clear and link to separate pages that we've created. So for example, you'll see right here step-by-step directions, like 1, share this website with your advisor. 2, write a short biography. And as you'll see, we have that link there. And if you were to click that, it'll link to the page biography over here. So the biography page is really to tell us about each member of the group or the student. We highly recommend that teachers encourage students to think of this as their academic and professional self and who they are online. Now that we're back on the home page, you can see that we also think it's important to review the learning outcomes and objectives with students, as well as for them to write their own proposal. So if you go to outcomes, which once again links over here, you as the educator will see that you are able to post the essential questions. Essential questions really are the big picture, learning how to learn, and not the small details of what students will be able to demonstrate, but big picture, what do we want students to be able to, how do we want them to grow as learners? And then, of course, the learning targets, teachers can put their specific learning targets there, as well as any tools for assessment, whether it's grading criteria, rubrics, and those can be either typed in directly, attached over here under Add File. Once you do that, you can just pick any file that you have, or if you'd like to embed a Google Doc, that's fine as well, or any other file. You would just go to Edit Page, Insert, and then you'd pull from Drive. Just make sure that it can be viewable to people on the web. And that's something that you would do within those individual permissions. So, as you can see, outcomes very important. We believe that we have a whole page dedicated to them. If you would like to change the title of what you're calling the outcomes page, you would just click here after you've hit edit, and then you could erase or add what you want. Same thing for here, you click this box. If you don't like how that looks and you want to change the layout, you would go to layout, and then you could change it to 2 columns or so on and so forth. There's a lot of different options here to personalize, which we think is really important for teachers as well as learners. So then hit save, so it saves. As you can see now it's changed the layout. Going back to our home page. We also believe that it's important that students really engage in invest in their own projects from the beginning. So starting with the proposal. So once again, we've linked from the home page to the actual proposal page. Once again, we've just given you something that is a nice place to start. Teachers and educators can edit as needed, scaffold as needed for their students. We believe that first of all, it's important that students give us a nice big picture overview of what they would like to complete, as well as why is the project relevant. Students can do this by providing a text answer, or there's many other formats. We also believe it's important that students explain how they will meet the learning outcomes. So once again, we've linked it here. And as you can see, the student can just click on it, and it is right there. So then in the proposal part, we also believe that students should make direct connections and use specific language from the learning targets. Also, we believe that students should describe the format that they are going to choose to use to demonstrate their learning. What will this final product look like? And we really believe student choice is huge for as a part of the learning process. And we would encourage teachers to be open in terms of the type of artifacts they're willing to accept. Then for activities, as you can see, activities are really a nice place to help organize and customize group work. And this is so important when it comes to collaborative efforts and making the most of them. To add an item, you would just click Add Item. Make sure the item you add is as detailed as possible. So we said, for example, if a student is calling a local business, they should probably include the information like what questions you want to ask and how to get a hold and who's going to do it. So the user would hit Click Item, say call Nature Center. Who will do this? Jim L. will do this. Picking a date, when will he do this by? You know, maybe the 29th. And then you'd put the site or maybe phone number for if you have that for the place that someone may have to call. Hit save. And when we save, as you can see, it's all right here. What's also nice about this is that students are able to go in and click completed when they've completed that task. So that's really great for helping students to organize the work that they are doing on their own or in groups. There also, as always, is a place to add files. For the research page, we believe that the teachers have a lot of opportunity to customize what they're doing here. They can have students insert their own Google Drive folders. They just would have to make sure that the original documents or files or in Google are shared with the advisor or whoever they want to be able to view. When it comes to research, you can definitely add more of your own. So if you wanted to add to what we had, you could always feel free to copy and paste. So for example, some teachers like to be very specific in terms of the essential question or research topic or prompt the students have. They may dedicate a specific type of citation that they want, APA, MLA, Chicago style, etc. And as well as how do they want students to be able to synthesize that information? Do they just want facts and summaries, or do they want more of an application? But once again, this is something that individual teachers can choose to add to the template or maintain the same template. But either way, we really like the nice, easy way students can add files, links, as well as their other research artifacts. For the final artifact, once again, we believe that students definitely should have choice. When it comes to adding their final project or product below, they can either add it as a file, add it as a link if they're making it in some other medium, or depending on what it is, they can always go through the insert menu. There's all types of digital content students can link to, whether it's putting a link, embedding an image, or some other type of item from Drive. There's a lot of different options that students have for their projects. Same with video. If they have a project that's a YouTube video, they can put the URL to the video there. They can select the size, which is nice, as well as the title. I always highly recommend that people change the title so it doesn't just say YouTube video. And always hit save when you're done. Another very important piece to these student portfolio projects and showing growth over time is the reflection page. Teachers can either choose to use the standard questions and format we have here, where the student would be able to click the pencil, edit in, and then type out, what is their project, explain in detail, what were some challenges you faced, what were some successes or areas for growth, and what did they learn about themselves. These are students can respond via text or in other mediums that a teacher may feel is appropriate. So for example, if we go to edit page, insert YouTube video, if the kids are doing video reflections, that would be another way for students to show their learning. So as you can see, going back to the home page, we have really tried to outline the steps that teachers as well as students would need to incorporate in student projects and portfolios to show growth over time. Once again, this is a template where students would be able to put in their own name. So under my name, they could erase that, put their actual name, Mr. Jones, if that's my teacher or my advisor, and then and whatever their project name is. So they would just edit it in, hit save, and there they go. One thing to keep in mind is that when you're making using a template in Google Sites, you as the owner and creator of the site can always go back and edit it. But once a student or a user has taken your template, it is theirs. And the changes that you make will not be reflected. So once again, the overview of the steps are, we believe that it's very important that students have a biography page, very clear outcomes that they can always come back to, writing a proposal to help engage students in the project as a whole, a place where they can organize the activities that they need to complete, as well as connecting who will be able to go and do which pieces of the project, how you want them to really display their research, what the artifact will finally look like, as well as reflecting and reviewing on outcomes.